In the vast, starlit tapestry of Greek mythology, most deities rule through the fear of lightning, the weight of the earth, or the cold edge of a sharpened blade. But there is one whose power is far more pervasive, a force more inescapable than Zeus's thunder and more ancient than the Olympian gods themselves. She is the Golden One, the foam-born, and the master architect of human destiny. Today, on Preo Tidings, we are decoding the complex, often misunderstood enigma of Aphrodite. Many modern stories dismiss her as a mere symbol of vanity or a simple goddess of pretty things, but to the ancients, Aphrodite was a terrifyingly powerful primal force. She was not just a goddess of beauty, she was the goddess of the impulse that keeps the world turning. The violent birth. Her origin story is not a gentle tale of flowers and sunlight. It was born from a cosmic, violent upheaval. According to the ancient poet Hesiod, when the Titan Cronus castrated his father Uranus, the divine essence fell into the primordial sea. The water began to churn, boiling into a thick, supernatural white foam. From this chaotic, celestial mixture, near the rugged, sun-drenched coast of Paphos in Cyprus, Aphrodite emerged. She did not experience a childhood. She arrived as a fully realized, breathtakingly beautiful woman. As she stepped onto the shore, the grass turned green and flowers bloomed beneath her feet. She was a goddess who commanded the hearts of both gods and mortals from her very first breath. The moment she arrived on Mount Olympus, the other gods were captivated, some by desire, others by jealousy, because they realized that her presence changed the rules of existence forever. The philosophy of Kalos. Why does she hold a permanent, undisputed seat on the Council of 12? It is because she represents the universal law of attraction. In ancient Greek philosophy, beauty wasn't just skin deep. It was a divine concept called kalos, a harmony of physical perfection and moral excellence. Aphrodite is the personification of the urge to create, to unite, and to persist. Think about it. Without her influence, the gods would not fall in love, mortals would not procreate, and the universe would eventually become a cold, stagnant, and silent void. She is the essential bridge between the divine and the physical. While you might never meet Ares on a battlefield or Poseidon on the high seas, the Greeks believed you met Aphrodite every single time your heart skipped a beat or your pulse quickened at the sight of another. The arsenal and the girdle. Let's examine the arsenal of this goddess. Aphrodite didn't need a trident to shake the world or a bow to strike from a distance. Her primary weapon was the kestos himas, the magic girdle. This wasn't merely a piece of jewelry, it was an artifact of mass enchantment. When she wore it, no soul, not even Zeus, the king of the gods, could resist her will. Her power was a form of absolute emotional sovereignty. She could manipulate the very chemicals of desire in any living being. She was not always a kind goddess either. When the women of Lemnos neglected her shrines, she punished them by making them smell so foul that their husbands fled the island. She controlled the fertility of the earth itself, proving that her beauty was tied directly to the survival of nature. Even her marriage was a power move. She was wed to Hephaestus, the blacksmith god, the most rugged and physically unappealing of the gods. Yet she maintained a legendary and fiery affair with Ares, the god of war. This union of love and war was a message from the ancients that the most intense passion often thrives in the midst of conflict. The warrior heart and the Trojan War. But do not let the grace fool you. Aphrodite possessed a warrior's heart. In the fierce, militaristic city of Sparta, she was worshipped as Aphrodite Ares, the armored goddess. The Spartans understood that love and war are two sides of the same coin. Both require intense passion, immense risk, and heavy sacrifice. Her most famous victory wasn't won with a sword, but through the judgment of Paris. By outmaneuvering the queen Hera and the goddess of wisdom, Athena, she secured the golden apple and sparked the legendary Trojan War. During that 10-year conflict, she was no bystander. She descended into the blood and dust of the battlefield to protect her son, Aeneas. When the Greek hero Diomedes dared to wound her hand with a spear, she did not fall in despair. She retreated to Olympus to strategize her next move. She dominated those who defied her with chilling precision. Consider the myth of Hippolytus, who swore off love to follow Artemis. Aphrodite viewed his rejection of love as an ultimate insult to the natural order. To crush his pride, she manipulated the hearts of those around him, leading to a tragic chain of events that ended in his destruction. She proved to the world that you cannot ignore the heart without facing the consequences. The deathless legacy. Who were the people that bowed to her? Her followers were as diverse as the world itself. The sailors, who called her Aphrodite Pontia, looked to her as a protector of the sea. They believed the sea foam of her birth gave her command over the waves, and they prayed to her for calm waters and safe passage. In the grand cities like Corinth, she was the patron of high society intellectuals and poets who saw love as the highest form of art. In the realm of myth, gods are athanatos, deathless. They cannot die because the concepts they represent are eternal. As long as humanity feels the pull of attraction, as long as beauty is admired, and as long as desire drives civilization forward, Aphrodite remains alive. She is the original icon, the blueprint for every figure of grace and power that has followed in her wake. Conclusion. Aphrodite reminds us that beauty is a form of power, and love is the most chaotic, transformative force in the universe. She was a goddess of contradictions, kind yet vengeful, soft yet indomitable. She fought with beauty, ruled with grace, and remains one of the most enduring figures in history because she reflects the most essential part of us, our need for connection. Thank you for listening to this journey into the divine. If you found this deep dive into the Golden Goddess insightful, please show your support for the channel. This is Preo Tidings, where we bring the legends of the past into the light of the present. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for our next exploration into the myths that shaped our world. Until next time, keep seeking the truth behind the legends.